Welcome into WDTV Studios. I'm here with Secretary of State Kris Warner. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having us, Alex.
And if you see behind us, we got a little bit of change of scenery. We have what is the regional winner, I believe, of the I Voted contest. Can you tell our viewers a little bit about that?
We allowed 8th graders to be involved in the I Voted sticker contest, show off their artwork. So this morning we were in Morgantown at Trinity Christian School. Mackenzie was the one that provided this artwork. She not only won the county contest, we had 42 counties participate, over 1,100 submitted artwork. And then she is the regional winner as well. And we've had over 16,000 people vote to pick their favorite artwork, and we'll make the announcement on March 11th as to which one of those 4 regional winners won the statewide contest. And then they'll be featured on the I Voted sticker that everyone gets when they leave the polling place in both May and in November.
You know, how important is it to vote in these primaries?
It's real important to vote in the primaries. This will be the first primary in 25 years that unaffiliated voters, which are roughly 1/3 of the state's electorate, will not be able to vote a Republican ballot in the primary. They can still vote a Democrat ballot. They could still vote for unaffiliated candidates. It'll also be the first election in 25 years that you'll have to have a government-issued photo ID to be able to vote, and that's based on legislation that passed during the last legislative session. The other thing that we did this morning in Monongalia County was we had a voter registration drive. This is the 35th high school that I've been into, the 55th high school that our staff has been into. We've registered just over 17,000 17, 18, and 19-year-olds in the last year, which represents 42% of all of our voters in the state this last year.
That's so awesome. And when you're getting these kids registered to vote, what are you telling them how important it is for them to get registered to vote? I know a lot of young people think, oh, this doesn't really affect me, but you know, it really does.
We make the point that everybody has one vote, and it doesn't matter whether it's me, their principal, President Donald Trump, or Taylor Swift. We all get one vote. And so, you know, you can kind of see the light bulb go off when you're speaking to an auditorium full of students, and they either realize that they can vote for somebody now if they register to vote, or they can cancel out somebody else's vote. And so many times for high school seniors, it's important to cancel out somebody else's vote. So, but we all get one vote, and we got to take that opportunity to exercise that.
I know a lot of people focus, you know, in November as well as, you know, normally during the presidential election season, but these midterms are extremely important and these primaries are extremely important. These are your representatives. These are your local people that are making decisions on your behalf.
Right. You had asked earlier, folks can register to vote up until April 21st. First, you can change your party if you so choose to do that by going to govotewb.com. You can either register to vote or change your party registration, or if you've gotten married in the last 4 years or so, you can change your last name. You can do it all online. You no longer have to go into the county courthouse to get that done.
And kind of changing gears to something you've been dealing with recently, the DOJ was asking for West Virginia's voter information. You decided to withhold that. Where's the stance on that right now, and why did you decide to do that?
The thing that's really important is the U.S. Constitution calls for the time, manner, and place of elections to be left to the states. Yeah. That means as an executive, as a Secretary of State, that I carry out the law as prescribed by the West Virginia legislature. West Virginia legislature says they don't want our information being shared, personal information, social security numbers, driver's license number, date of birth, that sort of thing. So we responded to the Department of Justice back in September that if they wanted to purchase a list like any other statewide candidate wanted to do, they could purchase that, but that's a redacted file. So the DOJ wanted an unredacted file with all that personal information. And it's simply against the law, so I'm not going to do it. It doesn't matter which DOJ is asking for that. And so we have now been sued as of this last Friday. According to national news, we still haven't been served in West Virginia. Yeah. I guess it's more important to get it out in the news first, but once we're served, we'll address that. So I'm not going to comment on pending litigation or threatened litigation for fear that might be used against us when it comes time to make our point in federal court.
There's an interesting bill this year that would allow high school juniors and seniors to be able to work as poll workers.
Yeah, we're really excited by that. I took a 55 county tour after being elected, the first 6 months of being in office, and we learned that 52 of the 55 county clerks think that they're going to have a rough time filling the number of poll workers. It takes 8,200 poll workers to work in 1,651 precincts in West Virginia. We think this is a great way to get 16 and 17-year-olds involved, even though they can't register to vote unless they're going to be 17 turning 18 by November 3rd, the date of the general election. This is a way that they can go ahead and, if they have a 3.2 grade point average, they take the training and they pick a political party, because we have to have an equal number in the polling place, then they would be eligible to be poll workers, get paid for their work. Most students are out of school on election day, and we're encouraged that we're getting folks younger to be interested in the civic responsibility and duty, and then be ready to vote when they're of age.
We have just about a week and a half left in the legislative session. Your office is right below all the madness going on upstairs. What are some bills that you've heard in addition to this one that you think are really important to be passed for the people of West Virginia?
The most important bill that we're focused on this year is the Office of Entrepreneurship. The other responsibility, in addition to being the Chief Elections Officer, is to be the Chief Business Registration Officer for the state of West Virginia. This Office of Entrepreneurship would give small businesses some of the same benefits that large businesses have, just because they have the dollars and the attorneys to do the work that needs to be done to make business decisions, and we'd be able to provide data analytics and help in navigating the system for small business owners. And when I say small business owners, I'm talking about someone that has 10 or less employees in West Virginia or a sole proprietorship.
Absolutely. That's all my questions. Is there anything else you want to share to our viewers or the voters of West Virginia?
Just remind folks to take a photo ID to the polls when you go to vote in May, and do your research ahead of time.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much, Secretary of State Kris Warner, here with us. We'll be right back after the break.